listen, we're not gonna close the building down for 10 years. But see, I used to give an incentive, so if you consolidated your school district, we could have gotten $30 million.
I know we have. I don't know, do we need to do that?
But our buildings is going to be closed.
In East Peoria. They were my biggest problem. I tried to consolidate the school district.
You would have, we're the same number. You could close them. And then you would have to share your boundaries. So those kids that live out by me may not all go to Armstrong Bowl. You'd have to bus, but you're already busing all the kids from Armstrong anyway.
Yes, ma'am?
Because it's sister school program, and I think that's bullshit.
Yep.
And I think having sixth graders in
5-1,
junior
that's-
high is bullshit too.
We're one of the only bigger, Morton doesn't have sixth graders.
Oh, the insurance plan one?
Good, because it's a sex thing. It really is. There's a lot of
I was gonna,
sexual pressure on sixth
sure,
graders.
okay.
It's already
Actually,
bad
that was
enough being a seventh and eighth grader.
And when you could still, that
You know,
big enough, you could
Dave, you can read it.
section it. They're in the same building, but they don't.
But that was one that, I did have that exact question.
Just built that new school.
Have two sets of buses, two sets of school bus stops. The pressure's there.
Well, you have to bus them the same. But you're right.
Asking kids at school dances and stuff. That's a lot of pressure.
Hey Morgan, you ready?
Yes, sorry.
We ready, Madam Clerk?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. We'll go ahead and call the East Peoria City Council regular meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Decker,
Here.
Hill,
Here.
Mingus,
Here.
Sutherland,
Here.
Mayor Call.
Here.
All present, Your Honor.
Thank you. Please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the pledge.
Shall we pray? Heavenly Father, thank you for this day and every day that you give us. Thank you for your amazing power and work in our lives. Thank you for your goodness and your blessings over us. Thank you for that you are able to bring hope through even the toughest times. Thank you that you are always with us while we never leave us. Thank you for the incredible sacrifice so that we might have freedom and life. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, approval of the minutes, please.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the minutes of the regular meeting held on August 6, 2024 be approved as printed.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Decker. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Decker,
Aye.
Hill,
Aye.
Mingus,
Aye.
Sutherland,
Aye.
Mayor Call.
Aye.
All present, voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you, motion carried. All right, I have nothing under communication. Public comment. Anyone wish to address the council on an agenda item, please come forward. I'm seeing no one. Okay, very good. Commissioner Hill, turn it over to you.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I move to adopt a consent agenda consisting of items numbered 1 through 10. Item number 1, adoption of resolution number 2425-052, resolution to approve payment of schedule of bills listed on schedule number 7 in the amount of $1,179,802.94. Item number 2, adoption of resolution number 2425-039 on second reading, resolution approving contract with AT&T for underground utility lines at new police station project site, Camp Street. Item number 3, adoption of resolution number 2425-043 on second reading, resolution approving contract with Comcast for underground utility lines at new police station project site, Camp Street. Item number 4, adoption of resolution number 2425-041 on second reading, resolution approving additional time with Tyler Technologies, Inc. for implementation of the human resource management phase of the city's enterprise resource planning system. Item number 5, adoption of resolution number 2425-045 on second reading, resolution accepting low bid from River City Roofing for the Fire Station number 4 roof replacement project. Item number 6, adoption of resolution number 2425-036 on second reading. Resolution accepting and approving the low bid from Cahoy Pump Service for the well number 12 emergency removal and replacement project. Item number 7, adoption of resolution number 2425-037 on second reading. Resolution approving Rockwell SCADA software license and support renewal for the water and wastewater departments. Item number 8, adoption of resolution number 2425-038 on second reading. Resolution authorizing the purchase of a 2025 Chevrolet Silverado 2500 4x4 crew cab work truck from Uftring Chevrolet, Inc. for the Department of Tourism and Special Events. Item number 9, adoption of resolution number 2425-040 on second reading. Resolution accepting proposal from Spec Athletic Flooring for the East Side Center Indoor Track Upgrade Project. Item number 10, adoption of resolution number 2425-044 on its second reading. Resolution to approve contract amendment for additional structural engineering services with Midwest Engineering Associates for a new police station project, as listed on the agenda for this meeting to be considered by omnibus vote.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Decker. Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Decker?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
Mingus?
Aye.
Sutherland?
Aye.
Mayor Call?
Aye.
All present voting, aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I move you that items numbered 1 through 10 listed on the consent agenda be hereby approved and adopted, and items numbered 2 through 10, having been read once by their title and having laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection, be adopted as presented.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Mingus. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call.
Commissioner Decker?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
Mingus?
Aye.
Sutherland?
Aye.
Mayor Call?
Aye.
All present voting, aye, Your Honor.
Thank you. Motion carried.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I move you that ordinance number 4808, here to attach an ordinance authorizing and providing for the issuance of the not to exceed $20 million general obligation bonds, alternate revenue source, series 2024 of the City of East Peoria, Tazewell County, Illinois, for the purpose of constructing and equipping a new police station, prescribing the details of said bonds and providing for the pledge of certain revenues to the payment of principal and interest on said bonds and the levy of taxes to pay such principal and interest if pledged revenues are insufficient to make such payment, and authorizing the sale of said bonds to Robert W. Baird and Company Incorporated, having been read once by its title and have laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection, be adopted as presented.
May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Decker.
Well, I feel like I've repeated this thing 4 times, but I know one was the introduction of the idea, and the last one in our last meeting was the bond. So again, what I just read here, the bonds of up to $20 million, this is the ordinance that authorizes the sale of those bonds, and those bonds will go for the new police station that we've talked about that will be at the corner of Camp and Clock Tower Drive.
Very good. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call.
Commissioner Decker?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
Mingus?
Aye.
Sutherland?
Aye.
Mayor Call?
Aye.
All present voting, aye, Your Honor.
Thank you. Motion carried.
Whereas a vacancy exists on the East Peoria Mass Transit District Board, and whereas the Honorable Mayor John P. Call has recommended the appointment of Brian Josko to fill the vacancy of the East Peoria Planning Commission, now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that the appointment of Mayor John P. Call of Brian Josko to the East Peoria Mass Transit District Board to fill the vacancy for a term ending April 30th, 2028, and that this resolution number 2425-048 be adopted as presented. Mr. Mayor, I move you that that resolution number 2425-048 be adopted as presented.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Mingus.
Well, I don't have much information on this, so I'm going to turn it over to the mayor. I know that East Peoria resident and I don't say was once a business owner, Mayor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Ty had reached out to a few folks that had expressed interest previously, Brian being one of them, on serving on one of our boards or commissions. Ty reached back out to him. We had a vacancy on there, and he was more than willing to serve on this. Make a great fit. We've had that vacancy for a while, so it'd be good to get that vacancy filled. Typically, their meetings are very short. They get right to their business and they wrap them up quickly. So, but just like any other board or commission, we greatly appreciate his willingness to serve the community. So, I think he's going to be a good fit. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Decker?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
Mingus?
Aye.
Sutherland?
Aye.
Mayor Call?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you. Motion carried.
Mr. Mayor, I move you that ordinance number 4809, here to attach an ordinance updating the notice provisions for nuisance abatement under Chapter 3 of Title 7 of the East Peoria City Code be accepted on its first reading as read by its title and be laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Decker.
What we have in front of us here is this specific section has to do with nuisance properties related to tall grass and weeds, and that this is really a clarification of our current practice. And if you look in the ordinance, it's in the paperwork, or that was mentioned, the primary change here, or a clarification, I should say, is that today, if somebody calls in, or it doesn't matter how, if somebody calls in or the grass is over the allowed limit of 10 inches, then there's different ways that service to that property can be done. And one of the most common ones is a sticker on the property, the main property. So the change that's being clarified here is that after 7 days, the city can use our emergency lawns mowing service for these types of things. And after 7 days, the grass will be mowed and the property owner will be billed. And so that's one of the primary changes here. And then it references the notification that goes on to say that they'll be noticed to appear in front of the administrative officer that handles the code enforcement. From there, they will either be cited or fined and notified in that process. And so that's what's referred to in this clarification.
Very good. Is this one read at length or no? Is there anything?
No,
Okay.
the next one is.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Decker?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
Mingus?
Aye.
Sutherland?
Aye.
Mayor Call?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you. Motion carried.
Let's see, so the next one, Madam Clerk, would you read at length?
Resolution clarifying dependent eligibility status under the city's group health insurance plan. Whereas the city of East Peoria maintains a self-insured group healthcare plan, the plan, for the benefit of its employees with the entire plan booklet, most recently being reissued and effective January 1st, 2015, where city officials have determined that it is necessary to clarify the eligible dependent status under the plan when a participant is receiving coverage due to an extension of benefits under the plan. Whereas the proposed revisions to the plan as provided herein are clarifying and implementing current practice under the plan and are thus being made to ensure consistent implementation going forward. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the City of Peoria, County, Illinois, that Section 1, effective immediately upon the adoption of this resolution, Section 10.11A of the plan is hereby amended as follows. Additions are indicated by underline, deletions by striking out. 10.11, extension of benefits. B, total disability. 3, if a covered person is totally disabled and is receiving an extension of benefits as provided under this section 10.11b, new dependents cannot be added to the covered person's coverage under this plan after the covered person begins receiving disability benefits is receiving an extension of the benefits as provided herein. Furthermore, once an eligible dependent of a covered person receiving an extension of benefits under the section 10.11b terminates coverage under the plan, the eligible dependent will not be permitted to be added to the covered person's coverage under this plan. Additionally, the spouse or civil union partner of a covered person receiving an extension of benefits under the section 10.11b shall lose eligibility for coverage upon remarriage, or subsequent civil union. If a covered person receiving an extension of benefits under the Section 10.11b is allowed to re-enroll in the plan of the employer's personal policy manual, the covered person is only permitted to re-enroll any dependents who were dependents under the covered person's coverage with the plan at the time the covered person dropped coverage under the plan pursuant to the employer's personal policy manual. Such re-enrolling eligible dependent shall be immediately eligible for coverage under the plan upon being properly re-enrolled in the plan. If the covered person dies before re-enrolling in the health plan, while enrolled in another health plan, or during the 45-day period after terminating coverage under another health plan, the covered person's dependents who are eligible to re-enroll in the plan may re-enroll in the plan, subject to complying with the applicable provisions of the employer's personal policy manual. Section 2, the city's human resource director is directed to furnish notice or otherwise make available a copy of these changes to all city employees and officials covered by the plan, including any retirees, employees on disability, families of deceased employees, or former employees who are covered by the plan. Section 3, the revisions made by this resolution shall be immediately effective as provided herein, but shall be incorporated into the plan document upon the next annual revision to the plan document.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Mr. Mayor, I move you that the resolution number 2425-051 be adopted as presented.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Decker.
And as Madam Clerk read, and I'm going to turn it over to Scott, this clarification in the in our group health plans about somebody that's covered under the extension of benefits, and I'm going to turn to Scott.
Sure, Commissioner. This is a real quick cleanup of the plan. That's something we've noticed. Basically, retirees and anybody who leaves employment with the city but remains under the plan are all treated the same, always have been. This just makes it clear that those folks who continue under the plan who are retirees, so folks who have an extension of benefits for various reasons, but typically it's due to a disability pension or the like, that they're, being, anyway, that they are not able to add dependents. This is, as has been read, I mean, it's a cleanup provision. This is the way it's been done. It has been done for 25 plus years. It just, when we recently reviewed the document, we noticed that it wasn't that explicit, so we wanted to make it clear, and that's what this does. So we treat everybody equally going forward, and anyway, that's what this is all about, just a cleanup measure for the health plan for the city.
Okay, thank you.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Decker?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
Mingus?
Aye.
Sutherland?
Aye.
Mayor Call?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you, motion carried.
Mr. Mayor, that concludes it for me tonight.
Very good, thank you, Commissioner Hill. Commissioner Decker.
One item, Mayor. Resolution number 2524-050. Be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois. The resolution number 2524-050, hereto attached. A resolution approving change order with Knapp Concrete Contractors Incorporated for the Veterans Drive Bridge Repair Project be approved. Mr. Mayor, I move you that this resolution number 2524-050 be accepted on its first reading as read by its title and be laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Mingus.
Thank you, Commissioner Mingus. Speaking with Rick Smonsky this morning about this, and it is an increase or a change of additional $144,977.75. The original constructor, the original approved bid was $676,389.06, so the new total will be $821,366.81. The Rick described it to me as, and I fully understand that sometimes they don't know all the work they're going to get into when they're looking at the project. They can't see, I guess, the insides or stuff that they're unable to see until they start taking it apart. So he did a really good job of explaining to me the different parts, and I'm not even going to try because I'll get it wrong. But he did talk about how in the future the new construction is going to be such that at the point, at the place where they found this additional damage, they're installing a drain. So with all of our water and the salt that we use in winters, it's pushed off and it got into that area and caused like a decay almost from the inside. So in the future, hopefully, the additional draining will allow for that to go away. With our winters, I don't criticize our public works for the salt that they use, because they do an exceptional job, and it's nice driving around on safer streets. So it's unfortunate when we come across these change orders, but I think it's just further proof that this was a good project for us to take on, because it was much needed.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up, because Rick told me he was going to talk to you. He mentioned that at staff. You know, our projected numbers originally on this project, just on paper, this has been years ago, as part of the capital plan, was like $700,000, with a little disclaimer from the engineers that without removing the surface,
Yes.
there's no way to know if there's additional damage underneath it. So even though this seems like, oh my gosh, what are we doing here? That was always a possibility. But to your point, this is a bridge, so we have a little choice but to ice the bridge or de-ice the bridge in the
That's
winter
right.
time. So although this is a substantial amount of money, quite honestly, it was one of those, it could cost additional money or it may not. We wouldn't know until we get into it.
That's right.
So they're surprised, but it's not really a surprise, because we were made aware when these companies bid on this as a possibility. So.
Right.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Decker?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
Mingus?
Aye.
Sutherland?
Aye.
Mayor Call?
Aye.
All present voting, aye, Your Honor.
Thank you, motion carried.
That is all I had, Mayor.
Very good. And just for anyone that is wondering, I know the original schedule was to have that wrapped up by August 30th. Did Rick happen to say anything to you? I don't know that this is going to push that date back. I have no idea.
He did not today. I was in a conversation last week about it, and I believe they were on schedule.
That
I'd
was
have to
my
confirm.
understanding, but we'll confirm that with everybody. It's just a footnote here. All right. Anything else, Commissioner?
No, thanks. That's
All right.
it for me.
Thank you, Commissioner Decker. Commissioner Sutherland?
Mr. Mayor, I have nothing tonight.
Very good. Commissioner Mingus?
Your Honor, I have two items tonight. First one, resolution number 2425-047. Whereas Ryan Beck has been continuously employed by the city from February 16, 2000 through the end of his shift on August 29, 2024, most recently occupying the position of Deputy Fire Chief. Whereas Ryan Beck announced his intention to retire from employment effective on August 30, 2024. And whereas the city is appreciative of the long and continued service provided by Ryan Beck, and whereas it is in the best interest of the city to execute the attached separation agreement, now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Tazewell County, Illinois, that Section 1, the above recitals are found to be true and correct. Section 2, the mayor is hereby authorized to execute the separation agreement with such changes as the mayor in his sole discretion may decide are in the best interest of the City of East Peoria. Mr. Mayor, I move you that resolution number 2425-047 be adopted as presented.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Decker.
Thank you, Commissioner Decker. This is exactly what I read, what we read. I read quite a few of these, which is a separation agreement with Deputy Chief Beck, who is retiring effective August 30th. He's been using some earned time off, I believe, since January. I'd have to go look at the memo. So he's used some earned time off for the past few months, but he is officially marking his retirement as of August 30th. Just want to say appreciative of the 24 years that Chief Beck has given to the city. I know he's already moved on to his next endeavor, and I know that he will enjoy retirement, and I just want to wish him luck.
Very good. Any discussion? Commissioner?
Yeah, I'm happy for him, Mayor. He worked with Ryan for a long time. He did a lot of things, very, very involved in St. Jude. You see him every year at the front of the line when they come over the bridge into Peoria, and he's been involved with that for many years. But one thing that's always stood out with me, everybody knows how good of a singer Ryan is, but he sang at my dad's funeral. And the conversations the night before, a couple family members, like, a firefighter singing at Grandpa's funeral? And when they heard him, They were just amazed at how good he was. So wish Ryan the best. Hopefully, I know he's enjoying his new job, and wish him the best.
I'd just like to say, anybody that gives, years of service, and in this case Ryan's 24, you got to thank them for their commitment. And I wish him the best of luck in his new endeavors, whatever they may be, whether it's retirement or sounds like he may have a new gig to work. So good luck, Ryan. Thank you.
Very good. Anything else?
Yeah, I'd like to wish Ryan a fantastic retirement. He's a good man.
Very good, and I echo everything that's been said. Appreciate his 24 years of dedicated service. And I remember when I was first elected and kind of going around the fire stations and talking to him, and he told me that I believe he went to college, something to do with singing, but I'd never heard him sing until Mayor Mingus had him sing at one of the mayor's prayer breakfasts. I mean, it gave you the chills. I was like, to get to know him and look, you're not expecting that to come out of him,
Yes,
I guess,
right.
but super talented. But he is big in St. Jude, and I know he's still very, very active in that, so.
I believe he was, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he was accepted into Juilliard.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah, he's
wouldn't-
very, very good.
Wouldn't doubt it. I just could not believe that voice. Absolutely beautiful singing voice, so. Wish him well. Anyway, roll call.
Commissioner Decker?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
Mingus?
Aye.
Sutherland?
Aye.
Mayor Collins?
Aye.
President Pereira?
Thank you. Motion carried.
My second item tonight, Your Honor, resolution number 2425-049. Be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that resolution number 2425-049 here to attach to resolution accepting and approving the proposal from Cummins Sales and Service for engine overhaul for fire engine number 3, which is a 2015 Pierce, be approved. Mr. Mayor, I move you that this resolution number 2425-049 be accepted on its first reading as read by its title and be laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Decker.
Thank you, Commissioner Decker. As I said, this is to get the engine overhauled on one of our fire engines, fire engine number 3, which is a 2015. It's got approximately 100,000 miles and 8,850 hours on it. So as anyone who knows, I guess East Peoria Engine 3 is at the bottom of the hill, and it for years runs up the hill at all hours and all throughout the day and whatever. So it's well used. It's 2015, but I think that the year on it is probably misleading as to the amount of wear and tear the motor has on it. So it is it's going to be cheaper to fix it, which is $25,832.26, than letting it go and then replacing the entire engine.
Yeah, it'd be about 3 or 4 times more if we replace the entire engine. So, and I just want to point out the city has 3 mechanics down through Public Works, but we have the privilege of having Dan Johnson on staff. He's a firefighter, and that guy is extremely talented mechanic. So between the two of them, this is their recommendation brought forward to the chief. So.
I think it's also maybe not important, but at least worth bringing up that with the new firehouse, we're not running the engines up and down the hill anymore. I mean, I guess it will still happen in an event of emergency, but Station 2 will now run a lot of those calls, which will prevent some wear and tear on our machines.
Great point.
I heard that engine for 8 years run up and down right past my house en route, so.
I think that's a good point. I think that that change in the, not only going up and down the hill, but the distance, yeah, I think that those engines should, I would think, last longer.
I would think. Being a diesel, I would think, but going up and down them hill, pulling that weight.
It's rough. Yeah, absolutely. It's not the only hill that was going up and down either. Our topography here is tough on a lot of things, including our roads. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
Mingus?
Aye.
Sutherland?
Aye.
Mayor Fall?
Aye.
President Pereira?
Thank you. Motion carried.
That's all I have tonight, Your Honor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Public comment. Anyone wish to address the council on a non-agenda item? Please step forward. Nope, seeing no one. Comments from the council. Commissioner Decker.
Thank you, Mayor. We just want to mention very soon the traveling Vietnam Wall will be coming to East Peoria. It will be arriving on September 25th at about 10 a.m. or so. We're planning to again have it escorted in by motorcycles, and just like last time, hopefully we have a lot of people willing to help out. On the 26th, I believe it's at 11, we are having like the opening ceremony for it, right out in front of it. It'll be held right over here in the Civic Triangle. When we had it here 4 years ago, it was a tremendous event. It raised a lot of money for the honor flight, and we're hoping to again this time. It will remain after the opening ceremony, remain up until Sunday afternoon, when we'll have a very somber closing ceremony, and then it will be taken down. So the 25th through the 29th. But we would like anybody who is wanting to be involved. The email for it is Vietnam Wall, East Peoria, 2024 @gmail. And feel free to reach out that, send me an email. Also, the East Peoria Community Foundation is a place that if you just want to send a check, send it to that. Just put the Traveling Vietnam Wall in the memo, and they will make sure that it gets to the right place. But here in the 1st of September is when we will go out and start having the signs produced, which will show the different sponsorships levels. So if anybody's wanting to be a part of that and can get their donation in as soon as possible, make sure that you're on there. But we'll have a lot of opportunities for people to help construct the wall, which I think last time took about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And then security and just helpers throughout the event, all times, day, night. Mayor, I think you spent you and
I did the night watch.
Mike Johnson spent the most time overnight
Yeah.
last time, and that's a neat time to come, because that is an opportunity to see Vietnam vets that don't want to necessarily be here in the day when there's many people around to come out and pay their respects. So helping out with the honor flight is a tremendous opportunity. I enjoy it, and it's great to see the veterans that go and get to visualize the monuments that are made because of their sacrifice and the sacrifice of the people that are on the walls. It's interesting. It's really humbling to see the people that were very tough, very, a lot of times families never heard their stories. And then they go out there and you see the emotion come out. Maybe they've hidden it for many, many years, and all of a sudden when they see these monuments, it brings back memories. And but you'll get people that never talk about it, and then after that I hear that now they talk about it all the time and tell their stories, and I think that's tremendous. Then they get to come home and have the reception that they should have had in the first place. So,
is there a flight coming up?
Thank you, Mayor. What they're doing is, I think it's called the Penguin Project. That's what the high school is. It's something with Penguin, but they are honoring vets who don't want to fly to D.C. for various reasons. One, just don't want to, just can't bring themselves to go out and look at them, or health problems or some others. So on that day, and it's going to be the 26th, they are having a flightless flight. They're having all the vets meet, and they're taking them different places around. Colonel Ballard is going to be speaking at our event, and then he's also going to be speaking then that afternoon at a reception for the veterans that are on that flightless flight. But that will give them an opportunity. They'll be stopping here in the afternoon and have their time walk and take a look at the wall. And Luke Rosenbaum is the person that's kind of taken over recently for the Margaret and Phyllis, who were over it for many years. Luke is doing a great job and really putting a lot of effort. But I'm glad you brought that up, Mayor. I don't know if, Bobby, if you can remember, is there another actual flight this year?
September 3rd.
Okay, good. And that should be the last flight of the year, correct?
You might want to repeat that.
Yeah, that's September 3rd.
Yeah, which is a Tuesday.
I believe it's the last one.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's the last one of the year, and then the flightless flight also.
Okay.
They usually try to do 4 a year. Sometimes they do 3, but usually try to do 3 or 4. Just a great organization to be involved with.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Hill.
Yeah, it was interesting this morning. I was listening to the news, and there was the story about the protest, and I think it was in the 60s in Chicago at the Democratic Convention, and they were interviewing one of the protesters that were beaten by the police in that particular instance, and he had a quote that I found very interesting. He said, and this wasn't directed at any party per se, well, it wasn't per se. He said, if you don't have anger, then you're not paying attention, but if you only have anger, then you're not going to get where you need to go. And I thought that was profound, again, not because of the convention that they're occurring at today or where those riots, but so many times we see on, I thought of Citizens of East Peoria Facebook site when I read that a lot of people have anger or just negativity, but they don't channel it in any way positive. So found that interesting. I thought I'd write that down and remember that again, because if you don't have anger, you're not paying attention. If you only have anger, then you're not going to get where you need to go. So food for thought on how you address things you don't like. Again, not necessarily political or otherwise, but food for thought. So ending on a more positive note, we only got 2 more weeks of the farmers market left for this season, so come on out, come down and get some produce, see some of the vendors. They're coming in and out. I had somebody contact me, and they're not going to be there, so don't get your hopes up necessarily, but somebody that was a chainsaw carver reached out to me just this week, and they said, well, if you're interested, we'd love to have you. Fill out the application, and I have not seen it, but we get varying people come in and out. The honey's gone for this year. I forget who we had new last week, but come out, check it out. It changes a little bit week to week. There's some of the usuals. Hope to see you 4 to 7 on Friday.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Selwyn.
I got 3 points I'd like to touch on. It has absolutely only one of them have to do with the city. When I was younger, I did a little bit of traveling in the Caribbean. And one thing that I noticed was the poor people down there, you could see their shanties and part of their whatever they had out in the yard held together with their country's coins. They would take their country's coins and drill a hole in them and use them as washers, because it was cheaper to drill a hole in a coin than buy a steel washer. Well, we finally made it. It's now cheaper, instead of coming to my hardware store and buying washers, to drill a hole in a quarter and make a washer out of it, or a nickel, or a dime, or a penny. And I'm not telling you to go do that, because you'd have to hold it down safely and drill it safely. My point is, coins don't rust, steel washers do. And we've come to a point in our society that something's got to give when our money is less valuable than the product. It's crazy, which leads me into my next soapbox. I hear that they're talking about price freezes in the country. I lived through a price freeze back in the 70s. It's not pretty. It's not like what you think. It's not like, it is a mess because of things that are on sale they can't put back to the regular price, or the things that are seasonal. If it's in the wrong season, then it's the wrong price year round. So prices don't get cheaper at all, and it doesn't work. It's never worked in any country that's ever tried it that I'm aware of, and I did a little bit of research before I spoke on this tonight. So beware about price freezes, folks, and who you're going to vote for on those things, because not all politics is local. This one will hit local, and it has absolutely nothing to do with local politics. The last thing I want to talk about is I have a sewer break. It's a large sewer. It's going to be costly. It's going to cost me a lot of money out of my budget, and we're working on it now. Thank you. I'm done.
Very good, Commissioner.
I'm nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Nothing? All right. Just a couple of quick points. Little crumb crunchers are back in school, so just a gentle reminder for people that are always in a hurry and tend to ignore the school buses or get frustrated getting stuck behind them because you're running late or whatnot, but please be careful. We have a lot of construction going on to boot, but yeah, all the kids went back to school last week, so just FYI out there. Saturday is the Center for Prevention of Abuse. We have our ducks up here. It's their 36th annual, so thank to Chief Zimmerman and all the men and women of the East Peoria Fire Department and Corey and his staff up at Eastside. They'll be working pretty hard on Saturday, but the duck race kicks off at 1 p.m. sharp this year. And Public Works, I have to mention them, we use that truck. It's 35,000 ducks. But I looked today, probably a couple hours before our working session, and they've sold just under 31,500 ducks. So they have about 3,500 left. So let's help them hit their goal. You can buy, I think it's $5 for a duck. But if you buy 5, you get 1 free or something like that. I mean, just go on their website and check it out, but there's still ducks available. So if we can support that, it's a great cause. Greatly appreciate it. We hosted General Petraeus yesterday, Peoria Area World Affairs Council. In the 5 years I've been mayor, I think we've hosted 6 or 7 distinguished guests, from dignitaries to folks like General Petraeus. But I want to give a shout out to the East Peoria Police Department, the Chamber, Paradise. Chief Zimmerman was present yesterday, but we had a great turnout, about 300 folks. It was an interesting day, but I just appreciate all the work that went into what I thought was an extremely well-organized event. So anyway, shout out to those folks for putting on a great event. And then last but not least, at our last meeting, Commissioner Sutherland challenged us, and I want to bring this up, especially today. He asked us if we knew what to do if someone had suicidal thoughts, who they call, and I don't think any of us gave an answer. I did hear someone that was present in the audience shouting out 988. So I did my homework, Commissioner, and I think it's a very fitting day to respond to you. You can either call or text 988. That's the number, and you can do it via text. And I bring this up because Commissioner Sutherland and I, along with Cord and Jeff Becker, for the last 5 years, we've been elected together. Mondays before council meetings, we have lunch. And Commissioner brings his list of business items that he wants to talk about. We talk about the agenda and all pretty much business-related matters. Well, I was tied up with General Petraeus yesterday, so I rescheduled it for today. And as we're sitting there, and he doesn't know I'm going to say this, and I'm going to try to keep my wits about me, but today's an anniversary of his son's death. And I think it's important because it's what I saw today, and I want him to hear this from me because he brought it up on the council floor. It's okay. And everyone grieves in their own way, and we didn't really have words to say, but I asked him, about his son today, Martin, and he was 21 years old, and it was in 2005 on this date. But I want the commissioner to know, as a friend and a fellow elected official, that I've not experienced the pain that you have personally, but I hope that it helps you to talk about it. And grief comes in all forms, and everyone handles it differently, and it's okay. And if it takes you longer than what it would somebody else, who cares? I just find it comforting that you are willing to share that with other people, and I hope by talking about him, you understand that you're actually honoring his life, Mike, by bringing it up. And I think it's important for people that are faced with what you are facing, which is suicide leaves a lot of unanswered questions, and a lot of times people carry a lot of grief over things, even though they had no control over it. But just by you talking about him and celebrating his life, I want you to know you got to be kind to yourself, because there were a lot of times in his life, 21 years, sir, I'll guarantee you were there for him, and that's what you need to focus on. And it's about keeping his memory alive, and you did that today. So I just want you to know I appreciate the fact that you shared that with us, and it meant a lot, and we're always here for you as well. So if you ever want to talk about it, feel free. And with that, I would seek a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adjourn until Tuesday evening, September 3rd, 2024 at 6 p.m.
I have a second, please.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Decker. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call.
Commissioner Decker?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
Mingus?
Aye.
Sutherland?
Aye.
Mayor Call?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you. We are adjourned until we meet again.